All right. Hello, 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 and welcome to part two. Now, really, okay, let me say this. I ought to be ashamed of myself because I still need to do the part two for Dorit, where I talk about her shadow self. And yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. But, just like that one, I told you guys this one needed to be in two parts. So, I am bringing you Tarot Spills the Tea, okay, on the Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. All right, and I really want to know from you guys if you feel like this was a good decision by Bravo to do this, Bravo and Peacock and all of them or whatever, or if they can cool it. All right, I would like for you guys to let me know in the comment section because you know what? I'm a little undecided. But the question is, what brought out the dark side of these ladies, and can we unsee it? So part one was the tarot reading before, and it was the energy before and the what they pictured as the best while they were going in. Okay, so it was the energy of them going in to the vacation, them, how they felt in their mind, what they thought they was gonna get and all of this, and how they showed up. That was part one. This is part two, which is after. I don't know why it always makes me chuckle, because a lot of times people's energy going into a situation and coming out of a situation, they're different. And what makes me chuckle is the extreme that it is sometimes. Okay. Now, sometimes, you know what? Hey, I've done a reading before where it was pretty much the same. But anyway, we're talking about this right here with these women's. So let's dive in. Just in case you don't know who I am, allow me to introduce myself. I am Indigo Sage, an awakened soul, and enlightened spirit, okay? You can find me on my website. I have a spiritually based website. It is unapologeticallysage.com. You can also find me throughout social media on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook under Unapologetically Sage. But first, before we continue, what I need you all to do is bring your beautiful eyes to the bottom of your screen, no matter what screen you're looking at, whether that is your iPhone, your Android, your Cricket, your whatever screen, whether it's an iPad, a laptop, a notebook, whether it's your flat screen or big booty screen TV, whatever screen you're looking at. Bring your beautiful eyes to the bottom of it and look at that red bar at the bottom, and what it says is, this is for entertainment purposes only, and every single word is what? Alleged, and not to be used as facts. So anytime that you see this red bar at the bottom, the sentence inside applies. So, again, this energy is the after. So, after it was all said and done, okay? After it was all said and done, their energy, each of the ladies, the energy that they hold within themselves as they look back on this ultimate girls trip hosted by our dear friends at Bravo. All right. And the worst, what they felt like was the worst. So what I did, just in case you missed part one, which I really encourage you to check that out, but I dissected my normal spread. All right, so my normal spread, you guys, my sages, you already know what that is. So I just took out the best, which I coupled with the before energy. The women going in and imagining what the best is as a result of their decision to go on this vacation. So now we're here at part two, which is their after energy and what as they reflect in their mind, what they reflect and see as the worst that came from this vacation. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, we're going to, as I usually say, we're gonna just peek into their window of their house and look and see what they doing, what they thinking. Okay, so come on, come along with me with this ride. Come on. We're doing it. We are going to sage this all the way out. And it's interesting. It's very interesting. And at the end, I am going to show you guys just, because y'all know I'll be just peeking around like I said. And so I'm going to show you guys. It's going to be a tiny little lookbook of their vacation. Okay. The pictures that these ladies decided to post on their Instagram accounts and stuff. Okay. So, and that's interesting too. All right. So let's get started and sage this all the way out. So let me start out by saying that right before this, well, okay. So what had happened was I had already did the spread. Okay. The cards were already picked and everything. But the finale played. And so I had to decide, was I going to watch the finale or not? And my regular sages, you guys already know that a lot of times I don't like to see the episode because I don't know, I just like sometimes it just feels more natural to me to not see the episode and just let me just connect with spirit and just talk. However, Spirit told me to look at it, and I am so glad that I did because, of course, like every card flows perfectly with what the finale was. Okay. Now, in a perfect world, I would have had this out already before, the finale, perhaps. But I guess also on the other hand, you could argue that in the perfect world, it happened exactly the way that it should have. Um, so I am going to be as detail oriented as I possibly can be because a lot of you guys have not watched the Ultimate Girls Trip because you got to pay $4.99 to get it. And I don't blame you. I don't. But I went ahead and paid that $4.99. So that's the reason why I'm coming at you with the details. Okay. So, Cynthia. Cynthia's energy afterwards is Queen of Cups. Now, it makes perfect sense because in the finale, she goes ahead. Now, if you guys recall, and I am going to be going back to, I will be referring sometimes to part one, okay, of this reading session. I was saying how I did not understand what was wrong with Cynthia. I saw Cynthia was just a different person than what I'm used to. She was very like attitudinal. That is not funny. Okay, attitudinal is one of my favorite words. I was described that way years ago, like 20 years ago. Um, I was told that I was attitudinal, and I knew what it meant. That was just so. Anyway, that was funny to me. And I never thought I would be using it again. And here I am 20 years later saying Cynthia was attitudinal. She really was with everyone, and people really couldn't figure it out. And so in the previous episode, she apologized to everyone and basically, kind of went one on one with a couple of them and saying how she ended up being jealous. She said she was jealous. And she said she surprised herself, but she was jealous of the friendships that Kenya had formed with people. And she said, now this was out of Cynthia's mouth. Cynthia said because she don't have no friends on our show. Don't nobody like her on our show. So I'm just surprised. And I didn't expect it. So, okay. You know what? Shouts out to being real. Okay. Shouts out for keeping it 100. So that kind of let us know what was the issue because she was not acting like herself. And so here we are in the finale where she says, I'm going to do a redo. And this is another thing I appreciated because in part one, I was telling you guys how she confused me with this Bailey bowl and wear red or be red. Although I said she could do whatever she wants. Okay. It's her game, but I was just very confused. So in this, she did a part two of the Bailey Bowl, which was physical activity. So I was like, praise God, girl, because I know that your first version was not the Bailey Bowl. That didn't have nothing to do with your first version of the Bailey Bowl. So anyway, so she did that, and they seem to have had fun. It really looked like the ladies were having fun. Luann is competitive. She's very competitive. And I appreciate this little old vacation women's ultimate girls trip because taking them out of their normal environment, it did allow us as viewers to see different parts of their personality that I didn't know Luann was so competitive, okay? I know I just cut my own self off, but anyway, I'm trying to get to the point. All right. So Luann was competitive, but besides that, and then we already know because Kenya was competitive too. But I think we already knew Kenya was competitive. Like that didn't surprise me. But they was hollering that they was cheating and all kind of, okay. Anyway, it was a lot of that, but it was overall it was cute. Oh my gosh, why is the word jubilee coming to my mind? They have fun overall. Now, the energy afterwards for Cynthia is Queen of Cups. Cups is love. Well, cups are emotion. Cups is the water, and it's emotion. The majority of the time, cups refer to love. However, you always need to remember cups means emotion. Okay. There's lots of emotions we all can have. Okay. But it was reversed. The Queen of Cups reversed can represent a feminine person who is weak, directionless, or shallow. The Queen of Cups reversed represents a mature feminine person who can be overly sensitive, needy, or clingy. She may lack empathy for others as she becomes caught up in being self-centered, which is exactly what happened. Okay. But what's interesting is that this is the energy that she's leaving with. I don't know. I expected everybody to be all uplifted and stuff. But this energy that I just read to you guys, that I, summarized and everything from this card, is what she apologized for. So we're going to give our girl Cynthia some credit for that. Moving right along. So here's the worst, what she imagined as the worst. And guess what? You can see it. Y'all see it. Okay. I am trying not to get all overly excited and holler and stuff, but do you see what I see? Okay. I use two different decks so that what needs to come up can come up for a situation just like this. So she had the Queen of Cups in as her energy. And what she imagined as the worst is what? Queen of Cups again. Queen of Cups. Oh my goodness, I was getting ready to shout. So I was like, that's interesting. That's your energy, and you see it as the worst. Girl. And they was both reversed. I was like, okay, Cynthia. So basically, this one, as viewing it as the worst, because not only is a card, just because you have the same card, it's not going to read the same exact way necessarily, because these are different positions. So in this position, as her seeing it as the worst, what she envisions as the worst is clinging to her throne too long. Okay? Which is interesting because she basically, let me tell y'all something. And if you guys watched it, let me know your interpretation. But she basically said that she sees Kenya in a different way and kind of acted like, I'm not going to say she said they're not friends anymore because she didn't, but she was like letting her go. Like it just, she saw her in a different way and she didn't like it. And she said that they're different and their friendship will forever be changed. And it appeared, now this could be just the Bravo editors. Y'all know how I feel about them editors. I got a love-hate relationship with them editors, the Bravo editors. But they made it seem like it was changed for the worse, okay? When she went, first of all, Cynthia was in her confessional talking about it, and she was crying, and they gave her some Kleenex and stuff. She had on them big old Mary J. Blige glasses, okay, and a hat tilted to the side. She was looking cute. She was looking cute. And then Kenya in her confessionals, because they started splicing them, like they'd have Cynthia say something and then Kenya say something, and they were splicing them together. Kenya is so shady and mean, and Cynthia crying. And it's not like they knew what each other was saying, okay? I know that they don't know. But I'm just saying those personalities were so different. Kenya was unbothered. Do you hear me? Hashtag unbothered. Let me tell you how much unbothered she was. So right after that, Cynthia getting Kleenex and snotting and crying. Well, she wasn't snotting. She wasn't snotting. She was just crying. Okay. She decides to go in and talk to Kenya and ask, not in the confessional, but in her room because everybody packing because it's the last day. And she asked Kenya, do you have a moment, to talk? Honey. Stages. Kenya looked at her and said, ooh, nope, I can't, because it looked like, She was like, no, I ain't got time for this. I do not have time for this. No. She said, Cynthia, no, and like brushed her away. I was like, oh my gosh, and that's supposed to be your friend, and your friend is crying. I mean, it just seemed mean. It seemed cold and mean. All right. So, what could Cynthia do? She walked away. Shit. I mean, have me sitting up here cussing. I'm gonna try to. I hope I remember to. I'm gonna bleep that out. Anyway, Cynthia didn't have a choice but to walk away. So I believe that this is what she's referring to when we're talking about what she considers to be the worst. And it's about clinging to her throne too long. Now, the throne, I'm just going to say that's the friendship that they had. And it seems like she's trying to let that go. Throne could also be interpreted as her letting go of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Period. Okay. So because she ain't returning. All right, moving right along. Here we are at Miss Kenya. Okay. And Miss Kenya, for the energy afterwards, she has Nine of Pentacles. And that's great. That's a very nice card. However, first of all, we're not going to pretend like, we don't know what we know, okay? What is the Pentacles? The Pentacles is the quaint. The quaint is the money, honey, okay? So, money. So, I guess she walking away. Look at her. She look fabulous, okay? She look fabulous. And brown is one of my favorite colors, all right? I love it. I love it. Anyway, she walking away like, I got that. She got the money, honey. Okay, that's her energy. Nine of Pentacles. All right, like she did her job. All right. There's some of these housewives that we already know. Some are more authentic than others, and some walk in there like these are my coworkers and this is my job, and I'm going to do this assignment. Kenya is one of those. These are my coworkers. I'm going to do my job and I'm going to do the assignment. Okay? And it's no surprise that her energy afterwards is got to do with the Pentacles. All right, financial independence. You have worked hard to create abundance in your life. This has shown Kenya that she shouldn't be scared to splurge on herself. So this is interesting, being that she did win the 4 days and 3 nights vacation with the suite, some kind of like like the best room or whatever that oh gosh, Cynthia offered for the Bailey Bowl. She wanted to make it more interesting, and so there was a prize, and that was the prize, and Kenya won. So she won, but she decided to give it to Teresa because Teresa's boyfriend, who we now know is her fiance, but at that time was boyfriend. But the boyfriend's birthday was coming up. And so Kenya decided to give it to her or whatever. And, and Teresa, I really like Teresa on this ultimate vacation. She made me like her. Okay, anyway, Teresa was like, no, 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 Kenya, are you sure? No, no, no. And I appreciated that. Anyway, but Kenya was like, yes, yes, I'm sure. You guys can enjoy it. So Kenya, in her confessional, said, I don't have anybody special in my life, so, I don't need it. That's basically what she said. And honestly, I feel like she could have enjoyed that solo if she wanted to, and took a nice solitude interlude for introspection and have a good kumbaya moment, okay? Because, like I told you guys in part one, she was snotting and crying because Mark said, I meant to tell you if I did anything to hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. And she went into a tailspin and was snotting and crying for about 30 minutes. Okay, and it might have been an hour, but she could have used that and had a little, a meditation vacation. Okay? Or she could have made a cute and cuddly beach sun and sand getaway with her daughter. They could have enjoyed it. I just know that self-love and just pampering herself and you know could have been done with that. But anyway, moving right along. This is very fitting. The worst. She has a card in reverse, and it is Six of Cups. So Six of Cups upright is nostalgia and memories and, childhood memories and, well, memories in general. Like I said, nostalgia. It's in reverse, which for her, it represents letting go of the past and being ready to move on to the future. Okay? Which is fabulous. But here's my question. Why does she see that as the worst? I think letting go of the past for her is good. Because remember in part one, I had said all that crying and stuff she did over their court procedure and what Mark said. I said there's more to it. It has to be more to it. She does need to let all that go. And for whatever reason, that's coming up for her as the worst. Although, I mean, I ain't her best friend, so I don't know why. But I think that's a good thing. Continuing on. Teresa. We are at Teresa. Her energy afterwards is Three of Pentacles. Okay. And this card is a nice card. Let me read. Let me read. Someone who loves their work. They exhibit great skills and talents and are excellent team players. She really was. Okay? She really was. Despite what it is you think you may know about Teresa, she surprised me. Okay? Because I did watch New Jersey. She's from New Jersey. And I did watch her. I watched New Jersey's last two seasons, and she wasn't my favorite. Especially because she the one had told Danielle to pull Margaret's ponytail. That was not nice. And then she exploded, and she said, "That ain't on camera, is it?" And then when Bravo um producers said, yeah, that's on camera, honey. She went to throwing water and all kind of stuff. Okay, so I was like, ooh, you need to control yourself. So going into this, I was like, please don't pull ponytails, don't throw waters, don't shake tables, because y'all know, I think in the first season, she turned over a table or something. Honey, I was like, Teresa, what are you giving us? But you know what? Let me tell you something. When someone is in love and when they are when their soul and spirit is being nurtured and loved correctly. And when I say that, I am, first of all, talking about the person loving themselves, because that's where it starts and begins. So you can see like a positive, uplifting difference in someone's personality, in their character. And I see that. Okay. Teresa was very kumbaya namaste, very centered and level headed and cool. Like very, even when oh my gosh, Ramona had said she was like the scarecrow and didn't have a brain. Teresa didn't shake a table, pull a ponytail, or throw water. She didn't do nothing. She just said, "Why did you say that?" I said, "You better come through with that calm, cool, collected." Okay. That's a woman who, when you know your worth and you put love into yourself, honey, you, for the majority of the part, you're unmoved, okay? You're able to confront someone and ask them a simple question without becoming violent. And that is exactly what Teresa showed us, and I loved it. Okay. And speaking of, she cooked for them, which was great. She also, I didn't know, but she has a fitness clothes, and she gifted each of them with the fitness clothes and stuff, and it looked good, y'all. It looked like something I would buy. It looked like something I would buy. I was like, oh my gosh. So anyway, it was wonderful. So her energy afterwards is she's loving work. Okay, because again, let's not get it twisted. This is work for them, and they know it. They see it as work. And she had a good time. Okay, nobody, honey, she had a good time. Continuing on. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Okay. Y'all know it's going to go up and down and get all interesting and whatnot. So, worst. Her feeling of the worst is Knight of Wands. And for her, that's symbolizing a fast moving, enthusiastic individual. She's questioning if she's moving too fast. Okay. So at this point, we've got to see what's she talking about with moving too fast. Is she questioning, moving too fast so far as the friendships, decisions that she's made? Because, her and Melissa, they really try to act like her and Melissa was really going to have a big argument. They didn't have no big argument. And what it sounds like is that it's an age-old argument about whether or not Melissa DM'd Andy and begged him to be on it, or whether or not she's just on there because she's related to Teresa. Whatever that is, who cares? Okay? Who cares? But the worst for Teresa is being enthusiastic and moving fast. And what I feel like she's relating that to, because she liked everybody and she left, seemed like she was happy and was like, oh, I got new friendships and stuff and everything is good. And so now I'm like, girl, are you doubting? Who are you? What I want to know, and I did not clarify because I did not want this to be too long, but who is she doubting? What friendship is she doubting? Now, let me tell y'all something, okay? For everybody, all my sages who did not watch this, since Kenya gifted her the prize that she won, when she was on the phone FaceTiming Louis, her at that time boyfriend, now fiance, she said, I got Kenya's back no matter what, 100% since she did this. And I said, I don't know about all of that. And it doesn't have anything to do with it being Kenya, okay? Okay, so let me say that. It's just, how are you going to sit up here and say you have somebody's back 100% no matter what? You just met her. You just met her. You just met her, ma'am. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I don't care who it was. That's not mm-mm. Mm-mm. So, for all I know, she may feel like she was moving too fast and was too enthusiastic about saying I got her back no matter what. That mm-mm. You mm-mm. Mm-mm. Anyway, moving right along. Of course, I want to ask you guys to step to the mic and tell everyone about this channel. Please click like and subscribe and drop down in the comments and let me know what you're feeling, what you're thinking about this. Because really, I want to know, And I guess I could just answer the question myself because half y'all haven't even watched these ladies. But I was gonna ask, how do you feel about it? Do you think that this is a good thing? Because you know they got the part two already. You know, Berkshires with Dorinda. I was gonna ask, are you guys feeling this? But y'all ain't feeling it enough to pay $5 for it. So I guess that's a no. But be sure to click like and subscribe, okay? Appreciate my show me that you appreciate me recapping it anyway, okay? All right, let's continue. Alrighty, here we are with Luann. Now y'all know she's a rapper. Okay, anyway, honey, she's a rapper. All right. Um Not on this trip, but she rapped a song about this vacation. Anyway, I talked all about it in the news break quick bite. So she got the High Priestess as a representation of her energy afterwards: self awareness, solid self esteem, emotional balance, respect for others, and the divine within everyone, generosity of spirit, vast patience, a certain amount of social charisma. Okay, so I had to remember that this energy is in relation to the girls' trip because I'm like, who are they talking about? I'm like, that's not Luann. Okay, but as it relates to this vacation, it is. She was. All of that did fit. She's another one who surprised me. Teresa surprised me, and Luann surprised me. She, and maybe this is how they've always been. Like, I'd like to think that this is how they've always been. But we, for whatever reason, don't get to see that side in their normal seasons. So, but yeah, this was everything I just read. This was Luann, and the vast patience. She had to muster a lot of patience to deal with Ramona. Because remember in part one, I explained already how Ramona called her a whore. And that was an awful moment. And in that moment, Kenya basically slapped the mess out of Ramona. Okay. Yes, she did. That she did. Yes, she did, honey. Not literally in the face, but Ramona was sitting there and said that horrible thing to Luann, and Luann was upset, justifiably so, because they supposed to be friends. They supposed to be cool. I'm like, what kind of fish? I don't want to, honey. What's that saying? With friends like that, who needs enemies? Like, that was not nice. Kenya had had it up to here, honey, and Ramona was sitting there sipping on her drink, and Kenya walked up and slapped the mess out of it, slapped it down, and threw what Kenya had a drink in her hand. She slapped Ramona's drink out of her hand and then threw her the rest of her drink that she had, threw it on her. I'm like, oh wow, okay. Can you calm yourself? Anyway, just wildness. That's all it was some wildness. But anyway, that's just me explaining why I am saying that Luann had a lot of patience for Ramona on this vacation, okay? Because Ramona was a hot mess, and a lot of her venom was aimed at Luann, and that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, but anyway, but I guess if you think about it, that's the person that she knew, so she knew more stuff, personal things about Luann. So if a person is mean and they want to be mean to someone, I guess you would choose who you know the most stuff about in order to be mean if you want to be mean to somebody. I don't know. I'm not mean, so I don't really know how to think as a mean person. But anyway, continuing. Okay, so Luann. Now this is where it's going to get interesting, okay? So buckle up. The worst for Luann is Three of Cups. Now instantly I'm going to just say this. This is a card of celebration. And they did have a celebration. Honey, she did her cabaret. Um, money can't buy your class. Okay, money can't buy your class. She sung it, And they had sparklers, and it was cute. It was cutesy pootsy. It was cute. Okay. And so it was a celebration. So of course I'm thinking, well, why is this showing up in the worst? I don't see how this is bad. In this situation, okay? In this situation, it's a celebration. What's bad about that? But I had to remember that, well, let me read. So the show concluded with the Countess singing one of her songs, and they all celebrated while dancing around and putting sparklers in the air while fireworks burst in the sky, and it was beautiful. This doesn't seem like it belongs as the worst, quote unquote, until you examine the imagery. Is Luann worried about any drinking habits as they show on our television? So, yes, when I initially saw it, I was like, I don't see what's wrong with this card in this situation. You guys did celebrate, so what's the problem? But then I remembered that, first of all, she always says she's not an alcoholic. So I'm not getting ready to label her as something that she's saying that she's not. That's not my job. I'm not doing that. However, I remember her abstaining from drinking. Okay. Even after she had completed her court ordered probation and all that kind of stuff, she still wasn't drinking as we saw it on her last season. Her and Leah wasn't drinking. Okay. And it's not even that I saw her drinking on this vacation, but I did notice a huge glass of red wine being sat down on the table between Luann and I think it was Kyle or it was Melissa. Okay. Huge glass, okay, of red wine being sat down between them. I saw Luann's eyes follow the glass. I held my breath as I wondered, who does it belong to? Now, in actuality, it doesn't matter. Luann can do whatever she wants, and I feel the same about her, okay? She can do whatever she wants. Drink, not drink, whatever. It's the show that makes you sit on the edge of your seat. Okay? Them producers, dramatic. I never thought I'd actually say this in a situation like this, but good job to the editors, okay? And I still don't know whose red wine that was. And as soon as the scene was over, I didn't care. I went back to not caring. But it was so dramatic because they showed her eyes follow that big fat glass of red wine. And I'm saying big fat glass because it was a big fat glass of, I'm like, I didn't know they made wine glasses that big. My goodness, okay? And her eyes were glued to it. So, back to this card. With that being the worst, and as you guys can see with the imagery, they all have celebratory glasses. Perhaps that's in connection with, I don't know whether, you know what, I'm gonna be honest, I can't recall right now whether or not she drank. But who cares? Like, it doesn't matter if she did. The only reason why it mattered before is because she was arrested for it. Okay. So that made that her storyline. And then the season before that, I saw her. She was so drunk and she fell in the bushes. So that kind of was like, ooh, girl, you falling in bushes? In the bushes? That's okay, girl. Like, okay, you need to chill a little bit when you start falling in bushes. When you start falling in bushes, you need to chill a bit. But she ain't falling no bushes. She didn't get arrested. So a glass of wine, whatever. Who am I to judge? I will not. So, continuing on. Here we are at Ramona. All right, so my allergies are really acting up, you guys. And our weather has been crazy, and I think I'm catching a cold, which sucks. All right, so Ramona's energy afterwards is represented by Knight of Cups. Now, this deck, this is the After Tarot deck, and I love this Knight of Cups in this deck. Look at the imagery. What is he doing? He is drinking his own cup of love. She needed to, because Ramona was a hot mess, okay? And like I said earlier, and I always say, you need to love yourself. You need to love on yourself. Now, you need to love yourself and do introspection. And in this final episode, She appeared to have done introspection, and she had a separate one-on-one sit down. Apart from the dinner, she asked Kenya if she could talk to her separate from the group. They did, and she apologized. Now, whether or not it was heartfelt, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, and that's because there's some parts where I want to say no, and there's some parts where I want to say yeah. So I feel like if I got to say no on anything, then it's no. Okay? Because an apology should just be real and true and genuine, period. I shouldn't have to guess. It should just feel authentic. And it did not feel 100% authentic to me. Okay? Now, I didn't do no cards on the apology. However, what we're looking at is the start of something beautiful, okay? She's trying to love herself. She knows that she needs some healing, okay? And that's what she talked about. She went into that, extensively. And I'm not going to do it here and now, but that's the start, and that's great. Now, let me say this. Let me tell y'all who was pissed. And I think she had a right to be a little pissed, I think. Cynthia. Cynthia was pissed because when Cynthia went to talk to Kenya earlier, remember I told you guys that Kenya brushed her away and said she ain't had time for that. And she said, no, Cynthia, no. Like, get on, girl. Bye. But Ramona says, do you have time to talk? And she's like, sure, yeah, of course, yeah. Okay, well, okay. Hey, I guess bottom line, she had time for Ramona. She did not have no time for Cynthia. And Cynthia said that their friendship would never be the same. Continuing on, what Ramona envisioned as the worst is Eight of Swords. For Ramona to hold herself hostage to old beliefs. That's what she envisioned as the worst. To which I did just say she did introspection and talked all about that. And this card has to do with that. So that's that. Okay, now for Kyle. Hey girl, hey girl, hey. Honey, Sages. We open this finale episode with Kyle walking up in a robe with her clothes slung, her dress slung over her arm, and she might have been barefoot or with some house shoes on or something because she spent the night with her husband. Okay, Mauricio. Woo, Mauricio. All right, so her energy afterwards was the sun. Okay, y'all can only imagine. You can imagine why I am laughing. I, she should feel like the sun. Okay, I'm not surprised. She's optimistic and enthusiastic. She feeling good. Okay. So that's that on that. Plus, let's go ahead and add this in that the house that they were in is their property. So Bravo's probably paying them a pretty penny. So yeah, she feels optimistic and enthusiastic. Just great. Girl, get it, girl. Get it, get it, get it, girl. Get it. Okay. All right, continuing on. Here we are at what Kyle imagines to be the worst, and that is the Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles is the coin. The coin is the what? Money, honey. Slow and steady wins the race. Now, y'all know, my sages, I always tell you guys, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. And I always wonder, why do the money gotta be slow? When we ask for money and when we need money in our life, don't we want it fast? All right, anyway, slow and steady wins the race. Her worst is slowness or the fact that her and her hubby looks greedy, being that the house the ladies were in was one of his properties. So her worst is just, it's basically how her appearance, not physically, like not the clothes that she wore, but like how is she coming across on the screen to us? Does she seem selfish and greedy? Selfish because all the ladies were supposed to be together for 8 nights. And that last night, she said, well, not the last night, the night before the last. She said, no, I'm going to be with my husband and I'm going to do me. Skip y'all. I don't care. I'm going to do me. Okay. Now, y'all know that I had told y'all before that I had heard and I saw it, and I can't, I did not take a picture of the screen, but she's a producer. But anyway, not necessarily of this Ultimate Girls Vacation. And I told myself I'm going to stop saying that because I could not find the proof. So I'm going to stop. But I'm not going to retract because I know I saw what I saw when I saw it. Okay? Anyway, so she's concerned about her image. Is she coming across looking selfish? And yeah, a little, because like you live with him. Anyway, I was gonna say, girl, you couldn't wait. And then it was just one more night with the ladies. You couldn't wait one more night with the ladies, girl. Yeah, so yeah, you do. You look selfish. Yes, you do. And then I'm not gonna say she looks greedy because it's their house, but I don't know. It is what it is. Okay, continuing on. This was interesting to me. This is Melissa, and I'm squeezing a smile out of my face because Melissa's not my favorite. She's not my favorite. However, this is such a cute picture. And you know what? I don't know. She's not my favorite because it seems like in that last season of New Jersey, she's from New Jersey. This is the sister-in-law to Teresa, okay? And I'm not liking her because now I'm liking Teresa. That doesn't have anything to do with it. However, her and Teresa's relationship does play into me having a distaste for Melissa because she is only on the Housewives because of her connection to Teresa. Point blank period. Point blank period. And if you guys feel differently, please drop down in the comments. We're going to have a conversation about this because she don't have no storyline. Okay? She don't have a storyline. Now, you know what? And I probably should do that. We should break down each franchise. One day I'm going to break down each franchise and we are going to point out and talk about who all are in the franchise. Who's the weakest link? Melissa's the weakest link out of New Jersey. She is. She doesn't have a storyline. And so these past seasons, she's been lying and making up stuff. And I don't like that. And so that makes me have a disdain for a person when I can sense and feel like they are making up stuff in order to have a storyline. I don't like that. Go ahead and let yourself out to the pasture. You know, just release yourself, release the contract, just get on. If you don't have a storyline. If you look in the mirror and you say, you know what, I gotta lie today so I can stay on this show. No, you're done. You're done. Don't do it. Walk away. She had a couple of lies and we ain't gonna go into that. But anyway, her not on this vacation. I ain't talking about the vacation. I'm just talking about why I don't see it for her. So her energy is represented by the Ace of Swords. Now y'all know that I always tell y'all swords are words. Swords slice and dice through the BS. It's a double-edged sword. Swords represent intellect. I was surprised. No shade. Maybe a little. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Call me out. Call me out if y'all feel like that was shade. But I was surprised that the Ace of Swords, she got the Ace of Swords as her energy. Okay. But you know what the thing about it is? We can feel however we want to feel. Now, if this lady feel like the Ace of Swords, she feel like the Ace of Swords. Okay. But girl, okay. She feels vindicated as if she has proven her worth to the viewers. My question to you guys is, did she? Let's continue. Let's continue. So here we are at what Melissa imagines as the worst. It's the Page of Pentacles, and it was in reverse. Looks like she left wondering if it was all worth it. The coins versus the work that she put in. She won't know the answer until the New Jersey season airs. And the reason why I say that is because there's a sense of Melissa where I feel like she's constantly trying to prove that she belongs on the show because she don't belong on the show because she don't have a story or a line in the story. She don't. And she's perpetually trying to, she like overcompensates sometimes with certain things to try to, make it seem like, yeah, I do belong here. But I don't know. Like, first of all, if you got to try that hard, then you don't. Why can't you just live your life, like whatever your life is? I mean, anyway, okay, I'm gonna pull myself back in, and I'm gonna save. I am gonna go in on her one day when I do this video on the weakest in all the franchises. That's gonna be fun. Okay. But anyway, the worst is for her is she put in a lot of work in this vacation because just like Cynthia went around to everybody, I was talking about it in part one, she cozied up to everybody, in the very beginning. Melissa did the same thing, but not as hard. Okay, Cynthia was going hard in the paint. All right. I'm your friend. I'm your friend's friend. I'm everybody's friend. I'm your mama's friend. I'm your grandpa's friend. I'm everybody's friend. I was like, girl, Cynthia, please pull back some. Are you everybody's friend? Apparently not. Not Kenya's friend. Anyway, but Melissa also did the same thing, but just not as much and not as hard. But Melissa, actually, to my surprise, she sat and talked with a couple of the ladies and was saying how, yeah, remember when we had a double date? And remember when we did this? And then remember, wasn't I was just texting you? And I was like, oh, okay then, Melissa. So you are, even though you don't have a storyline, even though you don't have a storyline, you have weaved yourself up into this housewife stuff. You like, shoot, I'm going to be friends with all these heifers. She's like, I don't have to have a storyline. I'm everybody's friend. So that's what she did. All right. And then one time she had a confessional because Cynthia had gotten upset with her. And Cynthia was upset because the women kept cutting each other off. And Cynthia was very sensitive about that for whatever reason. And when Melissa did a confessional, she was like, yeah, Cynthia, I get your point. And then she did a wink and a nod. And I was like, girl, what the heck is that? I don't know what you winking and nodding at. So what I figure, because at that time, that was like in the middle of this little 8-part episode or whatever. I had no idea what that wink and nod was. Later, we find out that Kenya told Melissa that Cynthia was jealous of Kenya and Melissa's friendship. So I'm trying to throw Melissa a bone and say maybe that wink and nod was like, girl, you're not upset because you're being cut off. You're upset because you're jealous that me and Kenya are friends. Okay. All right. Continuing on. And right here, I just thought it'd be fun to just take a little gander, a little lookbook gander at what the women had put on their Instagram. So Cynthia had posted this. Apparently they were in Times Square, honey. Okay, and Cynthia's right in the middle. You go, girl. You go, girl. You go. I thought that was cute. Very cute. Then we have Countess Luann, honey. That's her rap name. That is her rap name. She said when she was talking about her rap song, she was asked what would her rap name be, and she said Countess Luann. So DJ wicka Countess Luann. Anyway, okay, so she she put this. I think this must have been the first day because this was the wear red or get red, and it's the Bailey Q. Then we have more of Countess Luann, just random pictures and stuff. They went out on whatever part, one of the parts of the beach, and I swear to you guys, it was just nothing but the concierge man taking photos of them for Instagram. It seemed like, and these episodes have been about 45 minutes, 45 to 48 minutes, and that was 30 of the darn minutes. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand it. I don't know. Anyway, then we have Teresa, where she is in yellow, and apparently they all went on the Kelly Clarkson show. How cute. What is Luann wearing? What is Luann wearing? What is Ramona wearing? You know what? Let me keep going. I'm not gonna talk. I'm not. I gotta keep going. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about what is Ramona wearing. What is Ramona wearing? What is that? Is that a what? Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Then Teresa and that's a pretty picture, you guys. Teresa and Cynthia, and then that's to the left, and then we have Luann and Melissa. And then we've got Ramona. She posted. Now this is Aspen, Colorado. Okay, this is not Turks and Caicos. So Ramona and Kyle have been hanging out for real. And okay, unless they just ran into each other by chance. But how do you run into somebody by chance in Aspen, Colorado? I don't know. Anyway, so there you have that. And then Kyle posted, Kenya, why are their breasts so big? That seems just too big. It's like, you could take a pin and pop it. That I don't know. That just seemed too much. I don't know. Continuing on. And the green was nice. I like that green. And we are looking at Kyle and the ladies on the boat. And then to the right of it is Melissa and Ramona. So Ramona, she was like, y'all ain't gonna make me look like I'm mean. I'm getting ready to take pictures with each of y'all at other places so that everybody know I'm cool, and my sages, y'all know she went on a little campaign where when they said she was racist, she showed it, snatch her up a black friend, and she was like, "No, I am not racist. I got a black friend." Okay, so she know how to take pictures and do a what do you call it? When you go around and try to make things nice when you done mess something up. Anyway, continuing on. This was really cute. Ramona posted this, and and actually, you guys, I'm big on imagery. Imagery. In Luann's card, where the women had those glasses and they were all in like a circle and kind of toasting in the air. And I was telling you guys that they had sparklets in the air. This kind of mimics that picture. But anyway, it's cute. I think it's very cute. And right here is where I just want to thank you guys. I want to thank everyone who's listening. I want to thank my supporters. And why am I talking like I'm holding an award or something? Anyway, I want to thank all my Sages, supporters, new people, old people, the return subscribers. Thank you so much. Your support means everything to me. I really, really appreciate it. Okay? I really, really do. All right. Um, so drop down in the comments and let me know what you guys are thinking. And especially let me know if you feel like, now, you know what? Now, this is going to be a good question. Besides me asking, do you feel like they should continue with these vacation things? But if it was free, would you watch it? So that's the better question. If it was free, would you watch it? All right. Drop down in the comments. Let me know. And even if you don't feel like saying nothing, just throw a heart up in there. Throw a little heart. Bop, bop. Throw a heart at me. Okay. And I'll throw a heart back. All right. Enjoy your weekend because it's coming right up. All right, you guys. Bye.